So before the lunch break, we head into qualifying heat number 12, X30 Senior Group C versus D. Can Alessandro Tedesca make it 4 from 4? He starts again from pole position. He'll be joined by Markus Gloom on the front row. Alexis Constant and two-time heat winner this weekend, Henki Kalteren, round out row number 2. Mathis Merscholdt and Mirko Waters round out row 3, ahead of Q Holly and Esteban Valgrave, with Sean Hogan and Arthur Vasseur rounding out the top 10. Yanni Bouillet and Clément Massot line up on row number 6. Sky de Fourny and Griffin Hinwinset round out row 7, ahead of Jules Van Hul and Annabelle Bryan. Roxanne Lantinga and Thibaut Gillard round out row 9, with Dennis Bullman and Raffaele Santocono completing the top 20. James Merkelbach, Kevin Bakker, Thibaut Wires, Keanu Wellens, Ali Dax, Luke Taylor, Anne-Charlotte Anturo and Kenneth van Markerke round out the 28-strong grid. Simon Tedesca is on a roll right about now, and he's got this and one more heat to go. Could he do the clean sweep? It's very, very possible with the pace he's got this weekend.
Oui, Alessandro Tedesca qui est dans une très grande forme depuis le début de ce week-end. Il a réalisé pour l'instant pratiquement le parcours sans faute, avec toutes des victoires dans ses manches qualificatives et le meilleur temps dans son groupe de qualification. C'était déjà une bonne chose de fait, même si c'était pas la pole position avec l'ensemble des groupes, mais il était dans son groupe en tout cas le plus rapide, preuve qu'il est en forme ce week-end, et il sait qu'il n'a pas le choix s'il veut encore espérer un tout petit peu à ce titre de champion. Il est arrivé ici en 2e position, mais à bonne distance d'un certain Sam Balota qui, s'il poursuit de la sorte ce week-end, sera effectivement champion. Mais en attendant, Alessandro Tedesca donne tout ce qu'il a pour n'avoir aucun regret à la fin de ce week-end.
Exactly. It's full attack from Alessandro Tedesca, and so far that has put him at the head of his qualifying group, which ended up being group number 1, if I remember correctly. He set the benchmark and then everyone else went quicker. However, this is going to be the last, or the penultimate race before we go into the money time of the qualifying heat stages, starting at 2:20 this afternoon. Before that, we'll have the last seance of qualifying heats for 2024 for the X30 Junior category for Yami Series Benelux this year. But the drivers weaving from side to side. 10 minutes plus an additional lap. The finals later on will be 14 minutes plus an additional lap. And out of 85 drivers that ventured to the Corvan region here in Mariembourg, top 36 will go through to the A final. 37th to 72nd will head to the B final. And the remaining 13 drivers, well, one of which who's already withdrawn from the weekend, Kane Ince, will have to sit by the sidelines or decide to pack up early and then go home. But the drivers now getting into formation ahead of the final right-hander at this 1,366 metre clockwise derived circuit. 12 turns in all. So Tedesca and Gloom will have to be on the front row. Tedesca patiently waiting for Gloom to pull alongside, which he will do now. And then it's all down to the drivers to get themselves into formation. 14 rows of competitors, 28 drivers, 10 minutes, plus an additional lap. And for the penultimate time this weekend and in the season, we head into the tram lines, and the lights are out. We're underway. Good start by Tedesca. Constant might have got an early good run going down into T1. Someone went a little bit wide going through the opening corner, but look at the lead already that Tedesca has started to build. That's 4 to 6 kart lengths as the freight train makes its way through turn number 3. But it's the 379 of Merkelbach that gets pinched and turned around, squeezed in the middle of 2 other karts as everyone rushing to head into turn 5 in towards the turn 6 double right at Chemin de Fer. But Tedesca doing exactly what he needed to do. Lead from the front and command proceedings. Everyone else trying to battle over real estate through the exit of Escargot, a couple of which being to EGP drivers, one of which being Mikkel Wouters, the other ones being Q Ho Lee. But over the crest, Opening lap completed, Tudiska leads. And it's a big lead as well. 1.4 seconds. It's like Sebastian Vettel back in his Red Bull days trying to escape the DRS zone.
Oui, effectivement, directement le gap créé par Alessandro Tudiska sur l'espace d'un tour, 1 seconde 3 d'avance déjà. Et si on était effectivement en Formule 1, on serait déjà en dehors de la zone DRS. Ce n'est pas le cas ici, mais très beau début de course d'Alessandro Tudiska pour le coup. Derrière, ça se bat avec Marcus Glum qui emmène le groupe de poursuivants avec Alexis Constant en 3e position, Enki Kaltoren 4e, et puis on retrouve Mathis Merschau en 5e position. Et c'est peut-être dans ce groupe que l'on va avoir le plus de bagarres. Même si pour l'instant les écarts sont encore conséquents pour certains, on pense notamment à Mathis Merschau un peu plus loin dans la hiérarchie. Peut-être à la Enki Kaltoren ici, ouais, qui passe à l'intérieur. Il passe devant Alexis Constant qui a l'intention de répliquer. Et c'est fait dans le 2e virage. Ah, il est mieux ressorti du 1er virage, Alexis Constant. Et regardez la nouvelle réplique d'Enki Kaltoren. Ça se passe, ça se repasse. Et regardez qui en profite. Mathis Merschau.
But did you see there was a little bit of just communication between Alexis Constant and Henki Kaltoren? Very telling signs, because some of the drivers will know, okay, I'm not in the championship fight. There'll be a little bit of signalling, which actually goes to show, like with Alexis Constant, probably knows that I'm not going to be in the title fight. I'm a rookie. I'm going to let one of the more experienced drivers go through. And yes, they might not be under the same awning, but there'll be that mutual respect. But yeah, Mathis Merschau getting through quite easily. Constant opened the door, Kaltoren went through, and Mathis Merschau did not need a secondary invitation. However, dive up the inside of Alexis Constant. That was Yannick Bouillet, but another reply through turn 2. Constant's really hooked up at the moment. Lets the driver go through, but now under braking. Bouillet back through on the inside at turn number 3. At the back of that train is going to be Mirko Wouters, who's got Clément Massot. Yeah, Clément Massot right in the middle of the thick of the action here. But Alessandro Tudiska, with just over 6.5 minutes to go, has an unassailable lead at the moment. But if Henki Kaltoren can get through on Marcus Glum quickly, we know for a fact that the Dutchman will start to pick up the pace. As soon as he's in clear air, Henki Kaltoren is rapid.
Ouais, effectivement, Alessandro Tudiska qui continue la course en tête, et ce genre de manche qualificative évidemment booste votre confiance. Avec autant d'avance, c'est plutôt confortable aussi. Henki Kaltoren lui passe en 2e position devant Marcus Glum. Changement donc pour la 2e place avec le pilote néerlandais qui a fait la différence à nouveau au 1er virage. Très belle remontée de la part du pilote néerlandais qui a remporté une manche qualificative tout à l'heure et qui nous disait aussi qu'il était ici pour avant tout obtenir le meilleur résultat possible. Et derrière, c'est Mathis Merschau qui en profite aussi pour passer à la 3e position. Ça s'est passé du côté de l'épingle du chemin de fer. Donc tour un petit peu plus compliqué pour Marcus Glum qui a glissé de la 2e à la 4e place. Et attention, parce que derrière on a Kioli, pilote coréen, qui pourrait aussi venir s'intercaler. Et en attendant, vous voyez le boulevard d'avance pour Alessandro Tudiska. Derrière, Enki Kaltoren, Mathis Merschau, Marcus Glum, Kioli. Derrière, Yanis Bouillet devant Clément Massot. Et dans l'aventure, on a perdu Alexis Constant. Qui rétrograde effectivement 11e position. Lui qui était aux avant-postes il y a quelques instants. Il a donc perdu pas mal dans la bagarre. On avait vu que c'était un petit peu chahuté pour lui. Attaqué de toutes parts, notamment par Yanis Bouillet.
Maybe there might have been a secondary contact with another driver that maybe caused Constant to have a little bit of a moment. That's probably why. Or unless he's had a technical issue and that's caused the performance of the kart to drop down a little bit. Going through to the final right-hander, we saw Roxanne Lantinga briefly in shots, but Alessandro Tudiska again is against another race winner, Henki Kaltoren, who picks up a couple of races so far. One yesterday, one this morning. But Tedesca is on the verge of going for that maximum score. That's exactly what he needs to do. As you said earlier, he needed to come into this race weekend, put everything on the table, leave no stone unturned. And the thing is, as I said, Belota hasn't really finished outside of the top 5 at all this weekend so far, if memory serves me correctly. So Belota knows that the gap is going to be closed, but the big question is, the €64,000 question, that is, Simon, is how much is that lead going to be eaten into by the time we get to the finals? Plus, then also, we have to take into consideration the one dropped score that comes into the driver's points tally, because it's the best 9 out of 10 scores over the course of the season. So you get maximum 80 points for leading off to the qualifying heats, and an 80-point score for a win in the A final. But Tedesca is doing exactly what he needs, and Henki Kalteren is battling away with Matthias Merschelt. Marcus Gloom, Q-Ho Lee hitting the back of that quartet train as they head into Chemin de Fer. It's all about the law of averages as well. You know, your consistency can help you win championships, and for rounds 3 and 4 at Karting Genk, they have been, in a way, those rounds have been the bogus rounds for Henki Kalteren, and he's going to keep on pushing until the checkered flag. We know that. He's been around the block long enough in X30 competition, and he knows what he needs to do. So does Tedesca. They need to do as much as they can to keep the pressure on Sam Belota and see if anything transpires in the final. But we've got just under 2.5 minutes to go. Tedesca still very strong here out in front at 2.9 seconds. But there's going to be a change. Merschelt up the inside of Kalteren for second position through into turn number 3. That's going to further expand the gap north of 3 seconds in the dying stages of this 12th qualifying heat. Also, we've got a penalty going the way of Raffaele Santacono. 5-second time penalty for causing a collision, which has been noted by our race control. So 3 laps remaining. We're on to now lap number 9 being completed, lap 10 underway. Tedesca leads. Merschelt now 3.3 seconds behind. It looks like, well, the 314 of Santacono has been put through the ringer a little bit, because there's another penalty that's gone his way. A little bit of a look up the inside. Back, these drivers are going to have to be very, very careful. That was the 241 of Mirko Wouters. I think Annabelle Bryan is just up ahead. Slide to the inside, retake of second position by the Netherlands, Henki Kalteren, as we've got just over a minute to go. Next time around it'll be 1 and 1 more. So just over 2.73 kilometres of racing before the lunch break, and then we'll have the final 5 qualifying heats before we head to the finals later on today. Tedesca goes on to the penultimate lap. The lead has increased, I'm sure, 3.5 seconds. As soon as Tedesca hits clear air, as soon as Kalteren hits clear air, they both are incredibly, incredibly fast. But Tedesca has the slight edge at the minute. And really looking to get past on Marcus Gloom for that 4th place. As they head into turn 5 on the run down to Chemin de Fer for the penultimate time. No one decides to pull the trigger yet. Through into the Pif-Paf chicane. And heading in towards Escargot. Time is now expired. Next time around it will be the last lap of the morning to be completed, and Alessandro Tedesca on course for 4 straight qualifying heat wins this weekend, leading an RSD Karting 1-2 ahead of Henki Kalteren and his teammate. He's being still pressurised by Matthias Merschelt and Marcus Gloom, with Q-Ho Lee rounding out the top 5 drivers. Mirko Wouters has the fastest lap of the race in the pocket, 55.126. Wouters now ahead of Yanni Bouillet, the 214 from Belgium, and is behind Annabelle Bryan. But Alessandro Tudisca has been dominant this weekend so far. Didn't put it on pole position, but did enough to keep himself on the front row of every single heat he's taken part in so far. Out of the final right-hander, over the crest, Tudisca. The clean sweep continues. Heat 12, it's 4 in the bag for the 265 for RSD Karting, and it's a 1-2 for the team, courtesy of Henki Kalteren. Excuse me. Mathis Marschalt takes third ahead of Marcus Klum, Q Holly, Clément Massot, Annabelle Bryan, Mirko Walters, Yanni Bouillet, Griffin Himwiset rounds out the top 10. Roxane Lantinga finishes 11th ahead of Thibaut Gelade with Arthur Vasseur. Alexis Constant drops all the way down to 14th at the end of the race ahead of Sky de Forney, Sean Hogan, Jules Van Hul, Esteban Walgrave, Kevin Barker, Dennis Bowman, Thibaut Wires, Luke Taylor, Gims Merkelbach, Keanu Wellens, Kenneth Van Mokerke, Raffaele Santacono, Ellie Dax and Anne-Charlotte Anturo round out the finishers. Another penalty coming in for Griffin Hinwinset for a 5-second push to pass. But Tudisca, can he be beaten out on track? We'll find out after the lunch break.